Hey everyone, I'm here with Michael Martocci. He is going to be putting on a show at Harrah's Resort in Atlantic City on July 22nd. Guys, get your tickets. It's Sinatra, a man and his music, and it features a 22-piece Ol Blue Eyes Orchestra. The Duprees are special guests. Bill Spadea is hosting it. Michael, this is so great. This isn't your first time in Atlantic City. So talk to us about being back here and what fans can expect with the show.
Well, actually, I started in Atlantic City working for Frank Sinatra back in the late 70s at Resorts International when we played there. So that's how far I go back. But professionally singing shows, the first show was maybe about 8 or 10 years ago when I opened up for Don Rickles. And anytime Don would come to Atlantic City, I would open up for him. So that's where it all started. I came up with this idea. I was looking for, instead of the usual having a comedian open up, I said, we get another musical act. A friend of mine is in the Duprees, and I thought it was just a perfect mix. And we tried the show 2 weeks ago. We played it in the Carteret Performing Arts Center, which is magnificent. And we did 1,200 people, just about sold out. And all 1,200 people standing ovation at the end of the show. It was fabulous.
Wow.
So next stop, Harrah's.
Let's go back. You worked for Frank.
What's unique about this show? I worked for Frank. I traveled on the road to different locations with the show itself. Did these VIP packages for Sinatra for the fan club. We once did a trip which was magnificent. I put this trip together. Frank was playing Italy, and he was going to play Milan and then go to the ruins of Pompeii. And we did a 10-day trip where we brought people to see both of his concerts, along with sightseeing in each city in Italy. And then from there, we did London, another trip we did some Florida trips. It was just magnificent. So that's how I started with Frank Sinatra. And what's unique about this show, there are a lot of Sinatra people out there that do the Sinatra book, so to speak, but nobody has the original arrangements. I do. And so when you're sitting there and you're listening to the 22-piece orchestra play Quincy Jones and Don Costa and Nelson Riddle arrangements, it really blows everybody away because it's the originals that you hear the record. So, and I interpret it in my own style. And we have a lot of video and a lot of photographs and stuff to accompany the show. So it's kind of like a multimedia show.
That's
basically.
Cool. And also, I think it's important to note that you don't want people to think that you're a Sinatra impersonator. You are actually just honoring the legacy of his music.
I watched him so many years from the wings of the stage, and I have a different perspective than most of these impersonators have. And I'm doing this because of these impersonators, because I watch it. I understand that they're keeping the music alive, but some of it is really bad. And it's not doing him any justice. So I said, I got to do something about it. So there's a couple of guys out there that I respect that do it. And, here I am.
And there you are.
I will not quit my day job. My day job is, so people don't know this. I also own a company called Big Blue Travel and NY Jetaways. And we are the travel company for the Jets and the Giants.
Oh my God.
So we actually do packages to all the away games. So that's my main job.
Oh my God.
32 years.
Yeah. Wow. And that's your own company.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people that are going to be watching this are Eagles fans, but what are you going to do?
I know. I was going to say we're in Eagles land. Oh, that's awesome.
You beat us last year in the playoffs, so be happy.
So now you're going to be at Harrah's Resort on July 22nd. And I did want to kind of go back, though, about when you said you opened up for Don Rickles. What does that mean you opened up for him? As a musician?
I did my Sinatra performance. Now, Don always liked an orchestra behind him.
Okay.
And my instrumentation, the minimum that we could use is 17 pieces. And Don had, I think, 13. And he would pay for the extra 4 musicians for me just to have that music. And what was the ultimate compliment is before a show, Don was sitting in his dressing room. He'd sit there with his tuxedo on, no pants, and a bathrobe. And I asked him, I said, Don, what's the story with the no pants? Good kid. I don't want to get my pants wrinkled for the show. So which I understood. So he would get dressed in his full tuxedo and have his handler there bring him over to the stage, give him one of these big cushioning chairs. And from my first note to my last, he was at the side of the stage, the wings, watching every single song, going crazy, moving his arms and closing his eyes, and it said it made him feel like it brought him back to the old days.
Wow.
And that was the ultimate compliment.
It is.
Because they were brothers. Yeah, they were brothers, Don and Mr. Sinatra.
Wow. Wow. And the fact that you have the original arrangements and you do really honor him so well, that's so great. Okay. Well, I mean, I feel like, people should really just go experience it for themselves and they should see it. And also, we did a great interview on the citypulse.com that's more detailed as well. But is there anything else that you would like fans to know, especially the fact that, I mean, listen, you have the orchestra, you have the original arrangements. It's not just a singing and music show. I mean, there's an experience to be had because you have photos, videos, and everything. Is there anything else that people should know about the show?
I recommend that people that been to a Sinatra show before or know Sinatra's music, we need you there to keep it alive. Bring your grandkid, bring your nephew, introduce them to this music because Sinatra, we want him to be around. We want this music to last a long time. And the only way we can do that is keep it out there, keep reintroducing it to different generations. So I think this is a show you can bring a 20-year-old, a 15-year-old, a 30-year-old. There's no generation gap, and I think they'll be happy. And I think if they've never heard Sinatra, that they're gonna go out there and download, which is different than say go out to the store and buy a record. They're gonna download a Sinatra song and listen to it in his car. And if we get that, and we accomplish that, we've accomplished our mission.
I love it. Where can we find more information about you?
Michael Sings Sinatra.com. Michael Sings the double S Singsinatra.com.
I love that. Michael, thank you so much. We look forward to seeing you in Atlantic City next weekend, July 22nd. I can't even.
Whitney, I'm going to be looking for you backstage with a glass of Jack Daniels, me and you.
I like it. Let's do it.
Okay, honey, you have a great weekend.
You too.
Stay warm. Stay cold, I meant.
Yeah, right? Yeah, stay cool.
Start spreading the news. I am leaving today. I want to be a part of it. New York, New York. Summer wind came blowing in from across that sea. That's why my lady, she's a champ. Fly me to the moon. Let me play up there with those stars. Yeah, that's life. Oh.